Some people go out of their way to create excitement. Take risks.
It's just a big adrenaline rush.
I love the rush.
Sense of freedom, I guess. I like the competition.
I love what I do.
The danger, the risk. It's part of the appeal for some people. But sometimes, the risks catch up with you.
I broke my arm here.
I've broken my collarbone.
My head's pounding and ringing. And I kind of fell to my knees and looked up, and guys were saying, "You better go tell a trainer."
It's no surprise that teens get hurt when they take these risks. But what about the risks that are a little less obvious?
It's been kind of disappointing because beginning of high school season, I tore my ACL and had to have reconstructive knee surgery. So, I was out for the whole year and the whole summer. And then now I played fall ball, and at the end of fall ball, I hurt my biceps.
My knee locked, but my body kept going forward and I heard it pop.
There are risks that lie in activities you do every day.
We used to go into the chat rooms and say that we were much older.
When we're in the car, teenagers just get real wild. We turn up the music, start acting real crazy. It's like we're not paying attention to the road. It's like we're not paying attention to the cars beside us, but in front of us.
Sports, the internet, driving. Have you thought about the dangers involved? What factors might lead teens to take unnecessary risks? Jordan is a competitive cheerleader, and she's had her share of injuries.
My neck, my knees, sprained ankles numerous times, wrists, elbows, teeth, back. I have tendonitis everywhere.
When she hurt her neck, she was trying a new tumbling run.
I was doing a round off big handspring double full, and I attempted this. I thought I could do it, but I'm doing it before, and I over-rotated. I was about 10 feet high or more. Over-rotated and landed right on my neck.
But, she says, it's all part of the sport, part of pushing yourself to get better and reach higher. And taking those kinds of risks can be positive, especially when you take precautions, like using a spotter.
That's the only reason why I would try a new trick with a spot. And then after, I have to have confidence to do it. I think any sport is dangerous, but it's your decision to do it. And if you really love it, then you have to take the chance to get injured. But I just think it's your choice, especially to do a new trick.
And there will always be pressure to try something new. Jump higher, go faster, push yourself further. From your friends, your parents, yourself, or your coach. But you're the one who has to make the decision. Can you do it? Is it too dangerous? Are you pushing your body too far?
It's hard to stand up to coaches, especially, it sounds kind of almost wrong, but the good coaches are the ones that are going to be able to push you.
I think you should always, try your best in something, but when it gets to the point where it starts, affecting your life and starts, seriously affecting your life for the worst, then I think the final decision should be up to you, and you should, you have to find the courage to, change that.
The players themselves have a duty to understand the obvious risks associated with the sport, to understand their own limitations, and that the coach is going to push them, and that this is a competitive environment, and they should respond. But at some point in time, if they just feel uncomfortable, they feel that they cannot do it, they have the power to say no.
Remember, you have to decide what you're comfortable with. And sometimes you might have to stand up to coaches, parents, or friends who are pushing you too far.
It's our responsibility to take care of ourselves and to live a safe life.
I think it's all up to you if you do it. I think you should take charge.
In sports or anywhere else, your decisions are your own responsibility, even when it comes to something that doesn't seem risky at all.
But I've been in chat rooms before, and almost the first thing they ask is, how old are you? Where do you live? You know, what are you into?
It's kind of offensive that they would come at you in that kind of way, and you don't know this person at all.
It happens all the time.
It's almost unbelievable how many people are out there every day searching in chat rooms for children.
Kylie understands just how easy it is for someone to come into your home through the internet. When she was 13, she met a man in a chat room. He was 47.
Like, there's no sexual things involved. I mean, we didn't talk about that stuff. We just talked about my father and how home life was going.
Before long, they agreed to meet here, a nearby convenience store. She got into his car. She thought they were just going to talk. Instead, he drove her to a parking lot.
And then he threw me in the back and raped me. And, yeah.
According to the court records, Kylie says the man took her to his house and held her there for 2 weeks. She was locked in a room, which had a computer. She was afraid to send an email because she thought the man would find out. So she tried something else.
I logged on and off repeatedly on my All Poetry site, trying to get someone to notice that, hey, things aren't okay.
The poetry website was her favorite. The website shows which members are online. So by logging on and then quickly logging off, she hoped someone would notice. Kylie's mother did notice. So she called the head of an internet watchdog group near her hometown.
And immediately, I knew we had it. We got the information from Kylie's mother on the 11th, and she was recovered on the 12th, late night.
The computer, the very tool a criminal had used to lure her away, helped save Kylie. The internet investigator and the police traced the computer's IP address and got the address of the house where Kylie was being held. She was rescued. The man who abducted her was arrested and charged with kidnapping and rape. Kylie knows now she made a mistake, one other teens can learn from.
There are bad people out there, and you can't say things, you can't meet these people because there are consequences to that.
It's not that Kylie shouldn't have been on the computer at all. It's where she went on the net and what information she shared.
It takes some degree of maturity to say, maybe I shouldn't spill my soul, my heart and soul out to this person who I do not know. And then again, it leads to that familiarity, it leads to that trust without any kind of safety, no kind of barrier.
The internet allows predators to create a false sense of familiarity and safety.
Because it allows them to get in and say, well, I know you're having a hard time, and I know your mom doesn't understand you, and your dad's not there, but I'm here and I can listen to you and I'll help you solve all your problems, and we can be the best friends.
A few simple rules can keep you safe on the internet. Stay away from chat rooms, or only message people you know already. Never give out personal information or create an online profile. And if you're ever uncomfortable with a message or a website you see, tell someone. And never, ever agree to a face-to-face meeting with someone you've met online.
I don't know, it's hard because I know what it's like being a teenager and you're hard and thick-headed and don't care what anybody else says. But it's not okay, I mean, to put yourself in the situation that I put myself in. Because common sense tells you, wow, you shouldn't do this.
Just like computers, cars are a part of our lives we've come to depend on. We use them every day, and they can be even more dangerous than surfing the internet. Car crashes are the leading cause of death for people aged 15 to 20. Every hour of every day, a teenager dies in a car crash. Many of those deaths happen because of alcohol, speeding, racing. But not everyone who gets in a wreck, who gets hurt or killed, is taking crazy risks. Nate is a pretty careful driver. He wears his seatbelt every time he drives. But his passengers?
Most cases, I really don't
enforce everyone else wearing a seatbelt in my car.
But researchers have found that it's not just the unbelted passenger who's in danger. Upon impact, backseat passengers often fly forward, hitting the people in front with deadly force.
That weight is what's going to kill you. That person who may weigh 110 pounds sitting in the back seat could impact you wearing in the front seat with your seatbelt on, could hit you from behind with more than 1,000 pounds of pressure.
Research also indicates that front seat passengers are 5 times more likely to be injured or killed in a crash if their backseat passengers are unbelted.
It's kind of weird thinking, that, a friend of mine, sitting in the back seat could easily just crack my skull.
Not a pleasant thought, but it sure gives the driver some leverage when he's telling his passengers to buckle up.
Say, let me talk to you, let me tell you why I'm telling you this. If you don't want to wear it, that's your own business. But when you're in my car, you need to. And this is why. You can kill me, you can kill yourself, and you can kill other people.
Everyone has heard for years about buckling up. But what else affects your safety when you're on the road?
Sometimes you're only using one hand on the wheel, and you can easily get distracted by talking to other people.
Kids get in accidents every day, and I know part of it is they're either having too many people in the car or they're on the phone.
When I'm dialing numbers or something like that, I've caught myself kind of drifting off.
In fact, research shows that a teen on a cell phone has the reaction time of a 70-year-old.
Because you don't pay attention more to the road. I've almost gotten in an accident once because I was talking on the phone.
Yeah, the night before, I'll swerve or something. Just because your focus, your full attention's not there when you're doing other stuff.
The center of the brain that we call upon for decision-making, like in driving, and also communicating is pretty much the same center. So it's as if talking on the cell phone and driving are, both of those activities put demand on the same center of the brain.
Yeah, I get really, if my friend's telling me an exciting story, I'll get really, really excited, and if something pulls out in front of me, I just usually, I'll slam on the brakes, or so I'll be paying more attention to my friends than to the road.
It's been estimated that in every mile that you drive, that you make approximately 200 decisions as a driver. And so if you're talking on the cell phone, those are 200 decisions that you probably are not making as a driver because your mind is on the conversation.
Research shows that on average, using your cell phone while driving reduces your reaction time by 18%.
I think it's very significant because when you think of it, I think teenagers are more prone to be risky drivers to begin with. So one of the saving graces is they have excellent reaction time. And this is one of their strengths, and we're taking it away with them being on the phone.
The simple advice?
If you have an important call to make it ahead of the getting in the car or starting the car up.
You should have your priorities when you're in a car, and the phone shouldn't be your first priority like driving safely should be.
Driving, the internet, sports. There are potential dangers everywhere. So what can you do? Where's the line between not thinking at all about the risks and obsessing over all the things that could happen? How can you control risks and still have fun?
Because there's a difference between a healthy risk, one that, betters yourself, and then risk that is detrimental and harmful.
That's the difference between trying a new trick and riding without a helmet. Driving on the highway for the first time and driving 20 miles over the speed limit. It's up to you to make the right choices because you're the one who will have to deal with the aftermath of bad decisions.
You can't blame someone else if you got into a car wreck and, your buddy's head went through the windshield, or you were driving with the radio so loud and speeding that you didn't hear that Big Mac truck next to you and you got into an accident or accidentally didn't see the child running across the street.
I mean, there's sports, there's rock
Theoretically
climbing,
safe
there's stuff like that that is within a boundary of being safe.
Because sometimes you take for granted how much people love you until you're gone. And if you could, step out and take a look at what you put them through, you would never in your life have done anything to harm yourself.
List 5 precautions you take to minimize risks in your everyday life.